Good afternoon, everyone. It's Chat with Mac. It's a beautiful, beautiful day today. We thank you for joining us. For those of you that are brand new to what we do, thank you also for joining us on this day. And we hope you enjoy. Nadeem, how's it going today?
Oh, going pretty good. Can't complain. It's great. Well, it looks like it's getting a little cloudy out there, but
Yeah,
it was hot this morning. I mean, it was really hot this morning.
it was.
I had to run a few errands, and man, it was hot. But we are here. The other thing
As
that's
always.
hot is Windows 11.
Windows 11, that should be coming out in a couple of days, if I'm not mistaken.
Uh, Around the holiday season, so it'll be here before the holidays.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So yeah, it's a few cosmetic changes, but there's quite a bit of changes underneath, under the skin, so to speak. So yeah, I'm excited about it. I want to, I always want to try out new operating systems and things like that. See if they make me a little more productive. But compared to Mac OS, I don't know, with all the gestures that Mac OS has, I don't know. We'll have to test it, so we'll keep an open mind about it. But one of the interesting things that I was thinking of was the centered start button. So now it's in the center. Just like on the Macs, the icons are centered. So it's almost like, is Microsoft conceding that all these years in all versions of Windows they had it wrong and Apple was always right?
Oh, wow. Well, now.
It's almost like BMW making motorcycles with dry clutches for ages, and then all of a sudden they start making wet clutches like the Japanese, and it's like, so you mean to tell me you were making them wrong all
All
along?
the time.
I don't know, but yeah, there's a lot of elements in the interface that are similar to Mac. But what I'm most excited about is the ability to run Android apps in Windows.
Yes, yes.
You know,
I was reading about that. Nice.
yeah. Now, initially, it's not gonna be all the apps. I think it's the Amazon store that they use the Android apps out of. And some of the apps are going to be a little broken. They may not behave as expected. But I think it's about time. So Microsoft is bringing Android apps to Windows, and Apple is bringing iOS apps to Mac.
Mac, yep.
So it'll be interesting to see how things work out. So yeah, I mean, interesting times. Now, one of the problems that I think a lot of people are going to run into is if they have older hardware that does not have the TPM 2.0 chips, the security chips, then Windows 11 is not going to work. So we'll have to kind of see how that kind of works out, because a lot of virtualization technologies cannot virtualize TPM 2.0. So how is that going to work out? I mean, are they going to virtualize TPM 2.0, or how is Windows 11 going to work on these devices? We'll just have to see. But yeah, interesting development there. And this is, of course, all after Microsoft said Windows 10 was the last Windows. There was not going to be any other Windows.
And here we are with Windows 11 coming out.
Yeah, yeah. The other interesting thing is that the Microsoft Teams client is built into Windows now. So that's an interesting development. And of course, if you've looked at some of the news channels, and they're talking about, well, Microsoft wasted $8 billion buying Skype. And really, in all reality, they didn't waste $8 billion buying Skype. They're actually integrating Skype technologies into Windows Teams. Had they not bought Skype, they would not have been where Teams is now. I mean, the development all started after they bought Skype. So I don't think that was a wasted investment. I think they just wanted that intellectual property so they can build applications like Teams, which would not have been possible without Skype, the underlying technologies in Skype. So, so yeah, it's I like some of the things in Windows that are not in Mac. Like there'll be the ability to kind of pre-select which apps you want to run, like a group of apps in a certain layout, and then you can just click a button and have that layout open up by itself. So that'll save time for a lot of people.
Yeah. What about the whole things with the widgets? Now, I know Windows widgets was something that I was reading about. I think you were talking a little bit about the touch gestures, excuse me, that are supposed to be a big thing with this new Windows 11, this new Windows 11 rollout. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the widgets are something a little different. The widgets are kind of like, like in iOS or even on the Mac, you can slide over and have some widgets where maybe you have weather, some news, or things like that. What's different in Windows 11 is that those widgets are driven by AI. So over time, those widgets become better. So that's good. As far as the gestures and the interface goes, a touch interface goes, so they're trying to, instead of having two different versions of Windows, like what I mean by versions is, if you switch your Windows machine into tablet mode, a machine running Windows 10, if you switch it to tablet mode, it kind of spaces the icons farther apart. So what they're doing is, instead of having that mode, they're trying to integrate it to where it's one spacing layout, but it's easy for touch or the mouse, right? So that's what they're trying to do is with their touch interface. They're trying to, I guess they're conceding that two different interfaces doesn't make sense.
Right. Right.
But at the end of the day, it's just a matter of spacing and to kind of calculate that accuracy of where their touch is. But the big thing is going to be AI, the AI that drives the widgets and other interface elements, which Apple has been doing that for a while. Like Apple devices will use AI to make for example, your sound better. It will take the ambient noise out, and pick your and it's seamless, right? So we just talk into a mic like we normally do, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the back end.
Right.
Similarly, it's if we can bake more AI into Windows, it'll make things better, easier for everybody, and it'll be seamless experience. And that's, I think, where everybody is going to. But we still have some time to go, but to get the interface polished a little bit, some of the quirks worked out, and I don't know when the official release comes out. Maybe they will.
They said the 28th is what I'm reading. What I read is the 28th, which is, holy crap, Monday.
28? No, that's, I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I mean, the beta's been there for a while, but 28th of this month,
June. That's what I read. It could be wrong. It could be wrong. That's what I read on a few places. It definitely could be wrong.
I mean, that's kind of aggressive because I don't think it's there yet. I don't think it's ready.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's ready for prime time. But who knows? I mean, maybe they have put a lot of resources in it and they're working day and night.
Okay, so my apologies. They said they're expecting Windows 11 to appear in October.
Yeah, so that's more like it. That's
more
what I'm
like it.
expecting. Yeah. And so I mean, it's every version of Windows brings some new technologies for performance. It makes use of certain newer technologies better, so it's always snappier. And I'm hoping that Windows 11, it will make full use of all the capabilities out there in newer processors and RAM and GPUs and all of that. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it catches on. But here's the thing, though. So Windows 7 was everybody liked it, right? Windows 7 was a good version of Windows, right?
It was.
Windows 8 was not very good, right? So and then so it was before that it was XP, right? So XP good, Vista not good,
No,
7
this
good,
was horrible.
8 not good, and then 10 good. I hope 11 bucks the trend, right? I mean, 11. I'm hoping. I mean, from the looks of it, it looks like they've got a lot of things right. So hopefully, it won't be another Vista or Windows 8. But yeah, it's
Vista was a nightmare, my lord.
we'll have to see. But some of the things that impact us directly is like external monitor support. It's always sucked in Windows. So now they seem to have got it figured out, and it's going to be actually better. I think it's going to be better than what it is on Mac OS. I mean, Mac OS is pretty good handling external monitors, but if it can remember the different groups of layouts of screens, and automatically when you connect that monitor, it brings those apps up, that saves time, right? So yeah, it's going to be the other thing that I hope that they fix is high resolution displays. Windows has always been crappy when it comes to high resolution displays. If you go to 4K or 8K displays, the text just becomes so small, or if you make the text bigger, the graphics get messed up. It's like it was always, like you have to kind of fiddle with it to get it right. So hopefully they fix that. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I can't wait to put it on my production machine. Just try it out. But and of course, I hope they bring a lot more gestures to Windows, because that's one of the things that Mac OS has that I was so used to. It made me so productive. But a lot of those gestures are missing in Windows 10, and if they can bring that in, that would be awesome.
So what's this whole thing that I've also been reading? I remember when we were talking about, I think, the new Macs, that there were certain provisions, if you will, for developers that would make, I'm trying to remember, it was one of our videos, that would help with, game developers, app developers, things of that nature. Is when the new Windows 11, are they making any appropriations for that as far as app development, for third party?
Yeah, so Windows has always been very focused on developers. I mean, from the get-go, Windows has always been, it was a hacker's paradise just because it was so flexible. You can, I mean, so Windows from the get-go has been so focused on developers. Apple, on the other side, has been a lot restrictive. So
right.
So Apple had to kind of open up to make it more conducive for developers to develop. But we don't have that problem on the Microsoft platform. I think Microsoft from the get-go has always been focused on developers, and it's really not an issue. However, I mean, there is no new technology, no whiz-bang technology like Apple's Metal technology. There is no Metal technology. They're still building on top of the existing graphic technologies that they have. So maybe there is no need for it, but
gotcha.
But with the capability that we have in GPUs nowadays, I think we're getting there fairly quickly, where we'll have to get some more technologies for developers so they can take full advantage of these graphic cards and GPUs in a lot of machines nowadays.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. So I can't wait to start using it in production, because it's one of those things you can beta test it for as long as you want, but it's when you go into production and millions of people start using it, that's when the real test is. I mean, that's when things start to go south. One of the other things I'm very excited about in Windows 11 is the updates. Hopefully,
I was about to ask about that.
Hopefully, they fixed the updates. They're saying they fixed it. I mean, they've shortened them. They've made the whole process better. They are reducing the frequency. Kind of like on par with what Apple is. So about twice a year. updates, but then they're going to be smaller, so they're not going to be as huge as they are right now. I mean, it's, your whole day could be shot. If you have an update and it goes south, your whole day could be shot. And in Windows world, it's not unheard of. It's pretty common for an update to go south. So I think there can be some streamlining done there, which they say they
I'm
have.
hoping so.
Yeah.
Because I've been caught with one of those updates during a work day, and it's like, well, I'm done.
All day, yeah. You might as well give it a,
Just give it up. It's a done deal.
Yeah. And then, like in Windows 10, when Windows 10 first came out, I think they fixed it later on, but when it first came out, there were certain things where certain updates, even if you told it you don't want it right now, it went ahead and applied them anyway.
It went on and did it anyway. Yep.
Come on, what the hell? So, but no, I'm excited about Windows 11. I think it's gonna, if nothing else, it's going to start off another cycle of upgrades. The hardware is going to catch up. Right now there's a shortage. Hopefully there won't be a shortage come October, because all these people who are now going to start testing out Windows 11, they're going to start buying new hardware. And I mean, the whole cycle is going to start. And I'm not saying it's a way for hardware vendors to sell hardware. It's Windows will be able to better take advantage of newer technologies, and this will start the hardware cycle. So you will want that better GPU just because Windows can take advantage of it now when the old Windows wasn't. So that's what it is. If you see my screen kind of shaking a little bit, it's my laptop is actually sitting in my lap, and sometimes like when I move, it kind of shakes, and that's why you're seeing the whole world shake. It's not the world shaking; it's just me. But
let me ask you this: how does it work for people like me that I have an Apple? Nope, that's not right. I have a Microsoft Surface. Is that an automatic thing? Do I have to get a brand new
You won't need to. So
nice.
You won't need to get new hardware. However, think about it this way. Let's say if Windows can take advantage of a better graphic processing unit, and like for me, I'm using a Microsoft Surface right now, and I'm going to edit this video on a Microsoft Surface. If Windows 11 can take better advantage of a better GPU, maybe I would look at upgrading to where I can get a better GPU. However, Windows 11 will also support external GPUs like Mac OS does. So that's another thing. Maybe, so now I won't have to buy a whole new machine with a better GPU. I can just get an external GPU, which on the PC side, not a lot of people buy external GPUs because it doesn't work inherently. I mean, unless you're running some sort of Linux that you've kind of compiled yourself, it's not easy to use external GPUs. But if Windows 11 brings external GPU support and it works well, we're going to see a big uptake on that.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, Mac, that was a little short discussion about Windows 11. I think in a way Microsoft is conceding that Mac OS had it right to begin with the center with the centered icons, but you can change them to be on the left as as traditionally as they've been. But I think it'll be a good thing, coming out of the pandemic. Teams being built in, people are not going to go back to the normal. This is going to be the new normal. So with Teams built in,
the new normal.
The seamless communication, video communication is going to be there. It's going to be a lot of possibilities. Just a lot of possibilities.
Yep. Agreed.
So I say we keep it short. We call it a day at that, and we'll give everybody the rest of their day, and hopefully, we'll see Windows 11 pretty soon. Well, let me rephrase that. Hopefully, we'll see Windows 11 in production pretty soon.
Pretty soon.
So have a good day, Mac, and we'll see you next week.
Sir. All right, guys. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.